Hey y'all, welcome to the first segment of this new series I told you guys about, my first production video of what kind of else is starting. So I thought to get started with the first part and first video of this new series I told you guys about not too long ago. I thought we would start off this by I feel like I want to start off with talking about life struggles and just kind of things behind it. So just to go into that, sorry, I'm just adjusting my camera a little bit. So life struggles. A lot of us here has either struggled or has went through a struggle before. Either if it's with family, friends, co-workers, people at school, any sort of area in your life, we've all went through a struggle or medically went through a struggle. And just try to ensure ourselves about it. So something I will bring up in my area about it. So as some of you people on here know, I have epilepsy, and so that's a narrow brain disorder where all of the electricity in the brain malfunctions after it trying to follow the blueprint. So I've told everyone an example of that. Like, imagine if you were to turn on, I'll show you, like this light switch, for example. And inside the light switch, all of us know there's a lot of wiring in that has to be connected. Like, there has to be certain wires that connect in order for a light switch to work. And with epilepsy, that's the same thing, but in the brain. And so all of the wiring, electricity in the brain, I talk fast, so don't be alarmed. But all the electrical nerves in the brain do the right connecting, but all of a sudden malfunctions. So that just means I start to have seizures that either will go past 5 minutes or just go for a short period of time. And ever since I was like a baby, I think I was like 5 months old, I think, when my parents started to really notice a lot of the signs and stuff. And at some point around there, or a couple years after, I was fully diagnosed with it. And even in my early childhood, my seizures would just go out of hand, just because sometimes, with people with epilepsy, the struggle behind that is having those seizures and just trying to get stuff to control it by using medications, And so as kind of the years go by, of course I try to get on medications to see which one will work the best. And it took a little bit just to find the right one, and at some point finally did, and ever since then I've been on a good medication that keeps them more like erased. I would explain it as, because at this point I rarely have them. Like, it's almost, I feel like it's never there in the first place. But yeah, so throughout my childhood and just even today, y'all, I even have to sometimes go through what my disability struggles are with it. And that's just what life with a disability does. Is you wake up and you go and fight your day and just keep doing that till the day comes. And other things in life struggles that go on is other stuff. Like, let's say if you and a friend, let's say y'all were both going through something, like either y'all knew someone who was just getting on your nerves too much, like if they were being very controlling towards you, or if they were just being or if they were just bullying you for no reason. And you tried everything that you can think of. Like, y'all both did everything you can think of, but there's nothing that could really do anything. And, you know, what I'm saying here with situations like that is we're trying to find the best solution to get it situated, but also for it to be less chaos, but also less frequent and stuff. So it's just what it does. But then also, let's say if let's just say if y'all have parents that fight, like, let's say if y'all have, like, your parents that argue 24/7 for these stupidest things when they should really be doing it when you're not around. And sometimes you feel like you want to and sometimes when that happens, sometimes you just want to go crazy at yourself and think, why do they do this? Why should they just not? Why would they be doing it in the first place when I'm nearby, or I'm like next door and I can hear every single thing that they're saying? Sometimes what happens is whenever they're going through something like that is sometimes we'll hear them, but sometimes what happens with us is our brain is trying to analyze what's going on, and sometimes it just gets too much and we just start stressing ourselves out too much. But that's a life struggle right there, by the way. That's another struggle. So what I'm saying here, another life struggle is trying to find the best solutions to deal with it. Either if that's by listening to music, watching either a fun video you are entertained by, or if it's talking with a friend of yours, or talking with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or really just someone who you feel like you can trust pretty well. And, you know, and plus kind of just talking with those people or doing things like that to kind of get your mind off what you're hearing around you that you are trying not to hear. That's a good thing to do, because then your brain will be distracted on something else rather than just hearing it, turning it, basically, in other words, for it to be turning ugly. And yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's just what life does, is we have to kind of find solutions and just try to find something to keep us distracted from our current situation, either if it's what I mentioned, or if it's anything, or if, like, another example is, let's say if you find out you just got diagnosed with a certain disability or a certain medical condition that you are thinking all of the crazy what ifs in your mind, like, y'all, all of us have the what ifs whenever we hear either we get diagnosed with something, or if we know someone who's diagnosed with that, they're gonna have the what ifs in their head, like, what if I can't do this? What if I can't be a normal person? What if I can't, like, do what people my age would do, you know? So basically the what if side of the struggle is all of those. It's just you starting to get overloaded with stress and just fear and just anxiety that's just trying to make you want to win that time when really you shouldn't. You really should just try to think on the positive side of that and be like, okay, but I can still do this. I can still go here. I can still participate, you know? There's still some things you can do. Like, for example, y'all, I told y'all before I have epilepsy. So, for example, I can still hang out with friends. I can still go party. I can still learn stuff. It'll just be that I might have a little bit of a hard time learning it at first. Like, even I have a little bit of a hard time picking up on stuff than most people would. So it would either take me about 2 to 3 tries or 2 to 3 attempts just to get it somewhat correct and then go to the next step. So just kind of throughout this, just kind of take note to yourself and just put some of it in your daily life. If you are struggling with things in your personal life, or if you know someone who's struggling through a lot right now, definitely put a lot of that note to self with you, because you never know if you're gonna need it, or if a friend or a family member is gonna need it, or really anyone you know is gonna need it. And yeah, and also, y'all, each day's not gonna look the same. Like, we will wake up one day with it being all good and normal, and then another day you're gonna wake up literally in just a full state of just trying to figure out a solution to every single thing on your mind. And there might be days where people aren't going to sleep because of it. So what you people need to do is take a deep breath in and out and just relax, meditate, go for a walk, do something you love. Like, this can be, it doesn't have to be exercise related. It can be all, like, anything you like. Like if you like to do art, if you like to play a certain game of your choice, do that. Or if you like talking with your friends, do that. Or I don't know, or go shopping, go get your nails did, go get your hair done, or go look around in places that might seem cool to you. Go do what you love to do, because, and I said this earlier, that's like a distraction for your brain to think about instead of the main issue. Because what we do is, when we have a second part that actually, we have it like the distraction part, I'm saying, because when we have a distraction in front of us, that helps us not to think about the primary issue that's physically going on. We can actually have a secondary thing to actually mainly focus about, and not having to stress ourselves up and try to get us to get us frustrated with ourselves or someone else. And honestly, y'all, you never know what someone's going through these days, because there's just people out there that just don't know how to be positive. They don't know how to act right, even if they're a full-grown adult or a teenager or a kid acting like an older adult. So those people have just got to relearn how to put their sentences together, find the right vocabulary to use, and not just use cuss terms. Don't use inappropriate language. You know, and plus, something with me, I don't like it when people use like extreme language, because it just I don't know. It just gets me very irritated, and I just get very sensitive pretty quickly. So, like, for example, there's been times in like my live streams, for some of you that some of y'all that have joined my lives recently, y'all know how I get when someone's about to make me lose my nerve. And sometimes there's either once or twice I almost had to be on my last nerve because of someone or something in the chat. So just in life, just try to find your secondary piece of what to do. And also, another thing you can do too is go somewhere that you like to go to. Like, if it's going to a place with a nice view, or go to a park where it's just yourself, or just go walk around nature for a minute. Even it can be with your earbuds in your ears, listening to music of your choice or a podcast. Actually, this brings me to another good point. You can also listen to a lot of motivational podcasts that you love, because listening to a podcast or a certain music artist you love, that gives you something else to think about than what you currently are having to think about. So, like, a lot of times to me, I do like to listen to a lot of music of what I like a lot. But sometimes I do like to listen to podcasts as well, so it really gives you options of what secondary you can do, so you don't have to either pull your anger out on someone else and not make the situation a lot worse than it has to be. So, kind of also, again, like I said a few minutes ago, from what I've currently been saying to y'all, take these as like personal notes to yourself, because if you ever go through this, or someone else of yours is going through something, these notes I've kind of been saying to y'all, they will help you, a family member, friend, anyone nearby that you know. Or if you just know someone who's struggling right now, show them it, because they will look at that and go, okay, that's good to know. I can do this, instead of having to hear someone talk about their personal life being, crappy, or just being, stuff like that. And also, y'all, for my people who do go to church and are Christians, even pray to God, read your Bible, listen to a worship song of your choice, or watch a sermon that you love, like either if it's by a certain preacher that you love, even if it's not your own pastor, you can watch any kind. Watch someone who really knows how to speak. But also listen to something that's motivating, because if you just try to put on something like either a podcast or a song that's just more like sad depression mode or angerish type of way, then that's just gonna make your situation about 20 times worse than you are having to be at the moment. So, but yeah, that's just what you gotta do. And y'all, just saying this too, as I keep putting stuff into mine each and every single segment, just kind of know as we're going through each and every little aspect, make sure you are keeping these as like notes if you need to, or just go back and think about it. And even these can be like little goals too, to kind of help yourself out and stuff like that. But yeah, so, and also for some of those people here who are new, my name is May Thomas. I am 19 years old. I'm almost 20 on here, and I'm just starting this segment, which is more of like life advice, positivity, stuff that people should know and need to know. So, like, for example, at this point, this segment will be more on, like, daily it could be affirmations that are positivity related, advice, different series of things that kind of you can put the pieces together with. And it just kind of helps us out to really give us about a few minutes of the day to really connect the pieces together, because a lot of the times we will try to put the puzzle together just to find out the reason what's been going on through all of the current stuff I've told you. Because really, it's really like putting a puzzle piece together and trying to find where it goes. Because it's basically a path of just trying to find answers, trying to find solutions, and how to put them together, like how to do this. It's kind of what I'm saying with each and every single little thing. But yeah, so kind of as these just keep coming and coming, even y'all can even put, like, in the comment section, some of you guys can even put, like, ideas that maybe y'all might want to kind of get a more closure about, that also can be within, like, the affirmation, positivity area, or just advice kind of line, or just something you think people might be interested to actually know about. That would be in this little bubble kind of circle kind of idea for one of the next parts. But yeah, so as each and every single new thing comes out, just kind of be aware to do your part. Make sure you're not trying to overstress yourself and overthink yourself, because if you just go there to yourself, then you're just going to make yourself a lot worse than you're having to be in. But yeah, so for those people that are new here, make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on here, and hit the notification bell for future updates, which will be as like these segment videos, other content I do in here, and also live streams, because I go live about every other to every 2 days on here as well. And we do just a lot of we just talk about all kinds of stuff on there. So there's a lot of times, like, I mean, if I come up with some type of category, I will. But yeah, so make sure you do those things that currently I've told y'all with life advice. And I will see more of y'all back on here for a second episode of this, probably later on. So let's support this segment as our kind of guidelines, but also us to find ourselves in a spot and be there. So I will see a lot of you guys back around. So have a great rest of y'all's day, night, or evening, wherever you guys are from. Because a lot of my people in here are at least from all states. Like some people, I mean, you know, all of us are from the globe at least, so we're all different time zones. Like I said, have a great rest of your day, morning, afternoon, night. But I will see you guys again. So